Okay, here we go with the final part of my Mass Effect Let's Play. And here I'm trying something different. This is called a cold open. No? And as I said, yeah, Shepard was incredibly naive to come back here. If they just said that they weren't going to help him and then they call him back, it's like, what do you expect that they're actually doing?
The ambassador is correct. If Saren is foolish enough to attack the Citadel, as you believe, we will be ready for him.
Patrols are stationed at every mass relay linking Citadel space to the Terminus systems.
Really?
You think a blockade's going to stop him? He's on Ilos looking for the conduit right now. What are you doing about that?
Diddly squat. We're a government. We don't do anything about... We don't do anything effective against threats to our security.
Now is the time for discretion, Commander.
I mean, unless it involves pressing our own people and taking away their free speech rights, we don't do diddly squat to actually get things like terrorists or enemy armies.
Won't start a war. I can be discreet.
You detonated a nuclear device on Vermeer. I wouldn't call that discreet.
Wait a second. You
Well
were just happy about that
We recognize
30 seconds ago.
But
What
Ilos
on
requires
earth?
a deft touch. We have the situation under control.
Sovereign's the real threat. Saren's just a servant of the Reapers.
Only you have seen the Reapers, and then only in visions. We won't invade the Terminus systems because of a dream.
Who are they talking
If Saren
about?
finds the conduit, we're all
I've
screwed.
never been
We
clear.
have to go to Ilos.
Who's in the Terminus system that they're so afraid of being at war with? I mean...
Ambassador Udina, I get the sense Commander Shepard isn't willing to let this
I mean,
There are
maybe...
serious
I mean, I thought the
political
Batarians
implications
were
here.
near Earth,
Humanities make great
Vorcha,
gains thanks to
or
you, but
just
now you're becoming more
around
trouble
the
than you're worth.
Krogans.
You bastard! You're selling us out!
Interesting that she's there when I didn't even
It's
put her
just
in my
Commander.
party
You've
here.
done your job, now let me do mine. We've locked out all the Normandy's primary systems until further notice you're grounded.
Nobody stabs me in the back, Udina. Nobody.
Yeah.
I think it's time for you and your team
You'll
to
see
leave.
why that's a bad idea
This
there.
no longer concerns you. The Council can handle this, with my help, of course.
And here's where things start to go wrong here, because no matter what your response, Ashley ends up as your romantic interest, which, there's another video, on my profile that shows you how to use a Mass Effect 2 save editor, and one of the things I do with that is once I use that in Mass Effect 2, I do it, if I don't want Ashley as my romance option, I use it to uncheck her as the romance option, even though no matter what you do
I
here,
don't care
she,
if I have to go through the Council.
yeah,
I
there
won't let
isn't
Sovereign
any
win.
option to just say, oh, well, this is inappropriate. I mean, I'm your commanding officer, or anything like that, and it's like, what? It just confirms to me that a lot of people working on games just have the mindset of horny teenagers, and they don't understand that adults sometimes control their impulses and don't have to act on every little impulse they have. It's and that, hey, just because you've had like free conversations with a person does not mean you want to have sex with them. That
Sorry to interrupt, Commander. Got a message from Captain Anderson.
it's pretty sad. The
What did he
fact
want?
that
Only
it's
said to
one
meet
of-
him in that club in the wards. Flux.
Said he thought after all of
Sounds
it,
important.
you should maybe
You
you
better
should
go.
just get drunk while waiting for the apocalypse to happen. Yeah, now see, go into the opening credits for the last time. Hey, is this, where we go for Super Bowl tickets? No? happen to, by pure chance, just be watching Island just last night. Now, oh yeah, there's this
Commander
guy.
Shepard, it is an honor to speak with you.
I'm from the space racist
What's this demonstration
party.
about?
Oh,
I'm
we
Carl Saraceno of the
we
Terra
want
Firma
to
Party.
we
With
want to
Armistice Day
save
coming soon, we're
Hitler's
making our
brain.
voices
Will you
heard
join
by
us?
the alien appeasers on the Presidium. Can I count on your support in the next election?
Not really. There isn't anything worth asking him. It's like election.
Sorry.
Really?
I believe we need to work peacefully with other races.
We've heard that before in human history. Well-meaning naivete leads to declarations of peace in our time.
Really?
We can't allow anything like Shamshi
You
to happen
do
again.
realize that
I
I
don't
have
suppose I
two
could convince you
aliens
to issue a public
standing
statement of
right
support for the
behind me,
candidacy.
right?
The support of the first human Spectre would be invaluable.
I'm pretty sure even Hitler wouldn't be
You have the right to your
stupid
opinion,
enough to
Mr.
make
Saraceno, but with all
these
due
statements
respect,
to
I
somebody who
disagree
was
with
just
understand.
who
I'm
had
glad
who
you
had
support
like
the
two
democratic process,
who
at
had
least.
like two
Thank you for your time,
rabbis
Commander.
standing
Remember Terra
behind
Firma on
him.
Election
I
Day,
mean, really,
because Terra Firma remembers you.
I would have thought. Anyway,
I'm glad you came, Shepard. I heard what happened.
They pulled me off. the
you
bridge,
heard? You were
just like when
there.
they forced you to give up the Normandy.
I know, I'm sorry. I wanted to warn you, but there was no way to get a message to you before you docked. know you're
What?
pissed off
You
right
couldn't
now,
have shot me an
but you
email or
can't give up.
something? We've
They all
we've
think it's
established
so. Both know it's
the
not.
part of
You
the
have to go to
galaxy I
Iden.
was in
You have
was
to stop Saren
even
from losing the
farther
conduit.
out than Eden Prime was, and we
There's only one
established
ship
that
that can get me into the terminus
it took
systems
at least
undetected.
2 days
She's
to
grounded.
get from
Citadel
Eden Prime
controls
to
locked
the
out all the
Citadel,
Normandy
so
systems, but if we override the
you had at
ambassador's
least
orders, we can
2
get them to bring
days,
the Normandy back online.
and I
You
was a
can
lot
begin the
farther out
terminus
than
systems
with
before
Eden
anyone
Prime,
even knows
so
you're gone.
probably
If we steal the Normandy,
just
you're the one back
being
home
generous,
back.
let's tack on another
And if
12
Saren
hours.
finds the conduit
Let's
right
say
as we know it is
you
open,
had
the Reapers will destroy us. Humans, Asari,
60
everybody.
hours
You're the only one who can
to
stop us.
warn me. Why
So I'll
couldn't
do whatever
you
it takes
you
to
couldn't
get
have
you
shot
on
me
the
an
Normandy and
email
off
or
this
something? Who cares about my crew?
I won't forget this, Captain. I promise.
I can unlock the Normandy from one of the consoles in the Citadel Control Center.
Or you could
You'll have a
just
few
give
minutes
me
before
the
anyone realizes
password
what
and I
happened.
could unlock it.
That's a restricted area patrolled by armed guards. How are you going to get in?
Leave that to me. Just make sure you're in the Normandy.
Yeah,
when
you
the
you
systems
look
come
like
back
a
online.
regular Solid Snake or Sam Fisher.
There's
or
got to be a
something.
better way.
Ambassador Udina. issued
Yeah,
the
other
lockdown.
than you
hack
storming
into the computer in his
storming
office.
what I would
Maybe
hope would be a
override it.
heavily guarded
Stand by
facility,
when
unarmed. I would
Hopefully
hope
he won't
so.
be. If he
Um,
is, I'll just have to think of something.
The ambassador won't forgive this, Captain. You'll be charged with treason, a capital offense.
Really?
We don't have a lot of options. I break into the ambassador's computer, or I take my chances with the patrols in Citadel Control.
Break into the office. Why would you even
You'll have a better
consider
chance
the
to
other
go after the
plan?
ambassador's computer.
I was hoping you'd say that. The ambassador
Udina's an
is
unarmed
person.
idiot who
You ready to
we've
get the hell off
established
the
doesn't
station,
have any
Commander?
security in his
Let's do
office.
I'll take care of the lockdown. You get down to the Normandy and tell Joker
Yeah,
to stand
well,
by.
as opposed to storming a bunch of people who.
Stand by, shore party. Decontamination in progress.
I'm glad I didn't make you go through this every time you went through a mission in
Decontamination
a
in
single.
progress.
Wait.
Anderson? What are you doing here? I didn't send...
Ah, too bad that didn't kill him. Also, you can't be surprised about people just walking into your office. You door locks don't even seem to exist in this universe.
Get us out of here, Joker.
Have you ever noticed
Now.
that? I mean, everybody goes on about the seatbelts not existing in Star Trek, but in addition to that, in every science fiction show, game, or whatever, there don't seem to be locks on doors that are any real kind. If there are, they're just they're a mini game that you can hack your way past if you've ever played the child's game Memory. For crying out loud. So, what's the point? And yeah, this really annoys me. I mean, you can't just say, hey, what are you doing in my quarters?
For now.
Yeah, I'm not
The Alliance has to catch
interested.
me before they can strip my rank.
We had to do this, Shepard. You know that.
Real.
There's no other way. And you'll always be the skipper to me. Oh, Captain, my Captain.
Oh. Wait.
First Alfred Tennyson, now Walt Whitman.
Yeah, I just assume Shepard is familiar with some of the more famous writers in human history. Although it always gets me in science fiction when they quote something really well known like Moby Dick or Shakespeare, and then they think that they're being deep or proving that their characters have some sort of hidden depths. I'm like, you know, if you want me to think that they have some sort of obscure knowledge or something, maybe you should quote something that's a little less well known. A good example would be in Babylon 5, where at one point Sheridan quotes an ancient Egyptian blessing, which I'm like, at least that's not something everyone has read in high school.
I've spent my whole life fighting to get what I want. To get it done, I had to bury a lot of things.
Yeah, a lot of dead bodies. Just don't go into the desert in Vegas. It's littered with my enemies. See, all you can say is that you don't want to do it now, but the game still assumes that you became a couple, and it's like, that just annoys me, so I,
We'll put a pin in it. Just so they don't get all jealous.
Yeah.
After, though, assuming we don't get the firing squad, I'm gonna blow your mind. Guess I'll head back to my bunk and, find something to entertain myself.
I'm not even going to comment on
Bridge
that.
to Commander Shepard. We're 5 minutes out from the Mu relay.
That's,
I'm coming up. Prep the ship for silent running.
I
Aye, sir.
don't, really go dirty. So, how would this start a war again? There doesn't seem to be anybody there. Who would even know? You could send the frickin' Death Star through that thing and nobody would notice it.
Commander? We've got company.
Have their sensors picked us up yet?
Oh, great.
Stealth
And the
systems
Rice
aren't
Krispie
dead.
treats are nowhere
Unless we
near
get close
done.
enough for a visual, they won't have any idea we're here.
Picking up some strange readings from the planet's surface.
Take us down, Joker. Lock in on the coordinates.
Negative on that, Commander. The nearest landing zone's 2 clicks away.
We'll never make it in time on foot. Get us something closer.
There
You
is
drive
nowhere
around
closer,
in a
I've
giant tank.
Drop us in the Mako.
You need at least 100 meters of open terrain to pull off a drop like that. The most I can find near Saren is 20.
20 meters? No way we can make a drop in there. We have to try. Find another landing zone.
There is no other landing zone.
Everybody stop yelling for no reason on this tiny bridge!
It's not an option. It's a suicide run. We don't...
I can do it.
Joker?
Yeah, I heard about all the
Gear up and
things
head
you
down to the
said
Mako.
you could do
Joker,
in flight school.
drop us right on top of that bastard.
Let's not even get into what happened. Let's not even get into what happened with you and the shuttle and the Golden Gate Bridge. Oh, here. Well, yep, and here my game glitches again. Thankfully it's not for long, but
You two, keep
I have
moving
no
inside.
idea what it does, but But here you have, but it's annoying because you have a lot of Geth hiding behind rocks, and the rocks have the same black clunkiness around them that the Geth do. So it's hard to tell if you're shooting at a rock or a Geth.
Before Saren finds the conduit, there is no way we're getting past that door with brute force.
Saren found a way. There must be some kind of security override somewhere in this complex.
We will have to
How
find
come
some way to get it up
how
and
come
running.
in science fiction and video games the buttons for doors are never where the doors are? So yeah, you have to fight a bunch of Geth, go for a bunch of things, and then you go down. Then you find this elevator. You know, go down here, and then yeah, I take Liara because to me it only makes sense if you know you're gonna have to be dealing with Prothean ruins and artifacts. And she seems to be one of the few people in the galaxy who knew anything about this planet. It doesn't make sense that you wouldn't take her. I mean, what's the point? You know, Garrus, because Garrus is Garrus. And yeah. By this point, there is a way to hack so that you get the Geth firing on each other, but the trouble is that a lot of times your electronic skills are too low, but yeah, as you can see by this point, I'm not even sure why Saren is bothering throwing his Geth at me. Oh, wow, you delayed me for like 5 seconds. I'm not sure what that black dot in the middle of the middle of the screen was. But yeah. And you have to go up here and talk to this thing. And here's the thing. You listen to this stress call a lot of times. I'll forget and I'll start looking for the button to unlock the door because it doesn't actually say that the door is unlocked. And, well, it says security panel there, which I guess tells you.
Has a head start.
But it's like.
You have to go find him before he reaches the
But it's
conduit.
like. Oh, what you hear a distress call.
That is a chance
I
we will
don't
have to take.
normally associate audio recordings with security override buttons. How come the buttons to unlock doors are never near the doors in science fiction or in video games? I mean, really? I mean, can you imagine if you had to do this in real life every time you wanted to get inside your house, your locked house? You had to go. You had to walk. You had to walk like 2 miles away and go into a bunker to hit a button hit a button that had like a DNA scanner attached to it, and then go back and deal with your problems.
Can you make out anything useful?
And then go back and open up your door.
The Citadel. Overwhelmed. Only hope.
No, there is another Skywalker. Don't worry.
All is lost.
It said something about the conduit, but it's too degraded to help.
And it sounded
we should go.
And it sounded mysteriously like FDR for some reason. I have no idea why. So yeah, taking this elevator, and I had to record on because I thought there might be somebody saying something, but of course not. But yeah, it's mostly busy work though. You just go around to unlock the door to go back to where you started. And anytime they do that in a game, I just have a...
But I never dreamed I would discover anything like this. This bunker might have been the last refuge of their entire species. Just imagine what mysteries it might hold. Imagine what secrets
Yeah, somebody who loves history, I have to agree. Too bad they never, seem to send anybody here to investigate it. You think this would, place, in Mass Effect 2 you find out they made no attempt to study this place, and yet, And it's like, really? You think this would be like the biggest discovery, the biggest like archaeological discovery? Yeah, you see, as you can see, all you get there is like a giant black. So I'm like, what was that? So, I was like, and as you can see, giant black dots just randomly pop up. So it's like really hard to tell that you're dealing with an enemy there. Whoop. Yeah. This is. Yeah. Oi. Darn it. Well, that's the end of me. Run over by a 500-ton tank truck SUV. I don't know. What would you classify a Mako as? I'd almost say a tank, but it doesn't have treads. It has giant wheels. So I'm not sure what.
What is happening?
It's a trap. Sarah must have set an ambush.
Oh no! We should have listened to Admiral Akbar. Yeah, in case you can't tell, this is an elevator, and here's where something really annoying happened, actually. Around here, the game crashed and corrupted all my save files, so I actually had, except for one. So I actually had to go back and replay a significant portion of this game and make all the same choices I did in the my previous playthroughs.
This eventuality was one of many that was anticipated. This is why we sent our warning through the beacons.
Can you explain to me why you made
VI program?
Why your program? Oh yeah, you hadn't decided what a Prothean looked like, so it looks like
unlike the other,
it looks like a glitch.
This is incredible. An actual Prothean VI, and I can understand it.
I have been monitoring.
Yeah, that is incredible.
Since you arrived at this facility.
Cool.
I have translated my output into a format you will comprehend.
You know, normally it takes more than just hearing a few words of any language to decode it.
Nowhere will be safe.
Are you some kind of artificial intelligence program?
I am an advanced non-organic analysis system with personality imprints from Kesad Aishan, Chief of the Barrows Research Facility.
I'm not even going to try to look that up on the Mass Effect wiki because I can't tell you,
break a cycle that has continued for millions of years.
For the life of me, how you would,
or you will make the same mistakes we did.
Spell it.
The Citadel is the heart of your civilization and the seat of government.
How do you know that?
With us, and as it has been with every
we didn't say anything about that in our communication, so how do you know that? Just because you used it as such, how do you know we didn't just use it to store all our old DVDs or something?
Is activated, the Reapers will pour through, and all you know will be destroyed.
Yeah. Oh no, this will be worse than the time they wiped all those Doctor Who episodes.
The researchers here came to believe the Reapers enter prolonged states of inactivity to conserve energy. This allows them to survive the thousands and thousands of years it takes for organic civilization to...
So you would think the plan to take on the Reapers would involve finding a way into dark space and attacking them while they were just sleeping. But nobody even ever suggests that, not even Shepard. I mean, I know it would probably be shot down by the Council, but you would...
The Citadel was an inactive mass relay.
The Reapers are careful to keep the greatest secrets of the Citadel hidden.
Except for the fact that there's a giant mass relay just sitting in the middle of the Presidium that everybody's been wondering about, but nobody thought to say, huh, you know what, maybe it's actually a mass relay. They considered every other possibility except that it was the thing that it looked like. That would be like.
The Reapers could wipe out the
That would be
Council
like
and the entire Citadel fleet in a single surprise attack.
That would be like. I don't know. Looking at an office building in New York and saying, "Huh, maybe office worker is work here." Or not thinking about that and just thinking, "Huh, is this some sort of monument to the places office workers worked?" Or maybe it is an actual place where office workers worked. Idiots.
They methodically wiped us out.
Some of you must have managed to survive.
And you see what he says? They act like it's so hopeless in Mass Effect 3 when they establish that it takes hundreds and hundreds of years. So again, this goes back to Mass Effect 3 ending. Why does Shepard have to make a choice right then? You've only been fighting for a few months and it's going to take a few hundred years for the Reapers to wipe you out. Even if Shepard doesn't have the answer, how does he know some future generations in the centuries-long war won't come up with a solution? I mean, the Reapers are having to improvise. After the end of this game, the Reapers are having to improvise because their standard issue plan didn't work.
What do the Reapers get out of this? Why do they keep repeating this pattern of genocide over and over?
The Reapers are alien, unknowable. Perhaps they need slaves or resources. More likely they are driven by motives and goals organic beings cannot hope to comprehend.
Yeah. Keep building up that mystery, because that means that it'll be all the more disappointing when you have... Wait a second.
I don't understand.
Earlier, he said that in order to stop the Reapers, I had to understand. Now he says that I don't need to understand. Unless you understand what your enemy's goal is, you're not going to defeat them in a war.
Organic life had been extinguished. The Reapers retreated back through the
if we didn't understand that Hitler's goal was to conquer at least Europe, could we have really stopped him?
Mindless
Or,
husks, no longer
I mean,
capable
really.
of independent thought. The indoctrinated soon starved or died of exposure. The genocide of the Protheans was complete.
Ben, how did you know?
Tell me what I need to do.
The conduit is the key. Before the Reapers attacked, we Protheans were on the cusp of unlocking the mysteries behind mass relay technology. Ilos was a top-secret facility. Here, researchers worked to create
the Reapers were the Protheans are supposed to be more advanced than you, and yet they were only just about to unlock the secrets of mass relay technology. But you've established that your ships have Mass Effect cores that do the same thing as a mass relay. So wouldn't you need to know know the secrets of mass relay technology in order to make your own Mass Effect cores in your ships?
The personnel retreated underground into these archives.
So, they became World of Warcraft players. Hi-yo!
I was programmed to monitor the facility and wake the staff when the danger had passed. But the genocide of an entire species is a long, slow process. Years passed.
How on earth did they get some of them into theirs? I mean, look, there aren't any ladders. There's no way up there. What on earth? Did they take mountain climbing gear just to get into their
against a galactic invasion?
Just to get into their sleeper pods? I would have liked to have seen that.
I began to disable the life
crawling their way up there.
Personnel. First support staff, then security. One by one, their pods were shut down to conserve energy. Eventually, only the stasis pods of the top scientists remained active. Even these were in danger of failing when the Reapers finally retreated back through the Citadel.
So you were on batteries.
You just shut them down. You killed them.
You were programmed to protect them.
You didn't. you don't actually
This
have
was not
any
completely unforeseen.
way of generating
My actions
power
were
on
a
your
result of
own,
contingency
like
programming
no
entered on my creation.
nuclear power plants or
I
anything?
didn't tell the
I
non-essential
mean,
staff about this contingency.
I saved key personnel. When the Reapers retreated,
Yeah, they
the top
rarely
researchers
do,
were still
were they?
alive. My actions are the only reason any hope remains. When the researchers woke, they realized the Prothean species was doomed. There were only a dozen individuals left, far too few to sustain a viable population.
how did you know
Yet they vowed
the
to find
entire
some way to stop
race
the
was
Reapers
wiped
from
out? Well,
returning.
I mean,
A way
the
to break the
Reapers,
cycle
you said
forever.
the Reapers
And
had
they
gone
knew the
away,
Keepers
so,
had the key.
did you even try
Aren't
sending
they
out?
under the influence of the Reapers?
The Keepers are controlled by the Citadel. Before each invasion, a signal is sent through the station compelling the Keepers to activate the Citadel.
Again, maybe it was really stupid of us to just let things that we have no idea what they are just run around the seat of our
The
government.
Citadel and made the modifications.
I wonder if random aliens
time,
just
when
turned up at
Sovereign
the
sent
White
the
House
signal
and
to the
just started
Citadel,
running
the Keepers
around
ignored it. The Reapers
repairing
are trapped in
plumbing or
darkness.
something like that. Would we just
Sarah
let
can
them
use
run
the
around
conduit to bypass all the Citadel's external defenses.
Correct.
into the
And
Oval
use the
Office and
transfer
go through
control
the
of the
president's
station to
computer and
Sovereign.
maybe
Sovereign
and
will override the Citadel systems and
pass
make
around the
the
nuclear
override.
football
And the cycle of
like-
extinction will begin
like
again.
it was a hit album
Take
on a
Sovereign
torrent
down,
site. I
somehow.
mean,
There's a data file in my console. Take a copy when you go. When you reach the Citadel's master control unit, upload it to the station. It will corrupt the Citadel's security protocols.
too bad
and give
the
you
internet
temporary
seems to have
control of the
disappeared. We
station.
could have done it from
It
here.
will give you a chance against Sovereign.
Wait, where's the Citadel's master control unit? I've never heard of anything like that.
Through the conduit.
Oh, for crying out loud! Your
He will
government's
lead
been
you
there
to
for
your destination.
about what 2,000 years, and you have no idea where the controls are.
What happened to the survivors from the Conduit project?
They use the conduit to gain access to the Citadel, but the conduit is only a prototype. The portal only links in one direction, so they were.
So it's
trapped on
like
the
the
station.
wormholes on
I do not
on
know what became of them then.
SG-1.
It is unlikely they found any food or water on the station.
Really?
I fear they suffered a slow, grim death.
How do you,
I
again,
only
if you
know
have
they
no idea what
succeeded in their
happened to
mission
him, how do you
seal
know
the
that? But
relay.
really,
Your presence here proves their sacrifice was not in vain.
if the point of it is to be the ultimate trap to
So when the Reapers
draw
raided
in
the
people
Citadel,
and make sure that they use it as their center of
likely
government,
scenario is that the Keepers were
then
one of the early
why
harvested
on
civilizations.
earth would they not
Perhaps the
find
very
any
first.
food or water on the
Perhaps
Citadel?
they responded well
I
to
mean,
indoctrination, or the Reapers simply bred them to be obedient.
I
In
mean,
any case,
why?
They were left behind to operate and maintain the Citadel. But the Keepers are no longer directly controlled by Sovereign or its ilk. They evolved
I
so that they
mean,
only
why
respond to
on
the
earth would
signals
you
emitted
use a
by the
place where you
Citadel
couldn't get
itself.
any water? I mean,
the Protheans
it's in the middle of
altered the
nowhere. Am
Citadel
I
signals,
supposed to
they
believe
broke
that
Sovereign's
every
hold over the
ounce
Keepers.
of water that is
Now,
needed to
they
keep
are
the
completely harmless.
millions and millions alive
Sovereign
there
realized that organic races were
is
difficult to control.
imported?
Unlikely
That must be a
hypothesis.
full-time job
The
for
Keepers
somebody.
evolved in an unanticipated direction. Non-organic servants like the Geth would be more predictable.
So, in other words, we actually
What about the beacon on Eden Prime? The one on Vermont?
stand a pretty
What
good
were they
chance since
At our apex,
since the
beacons stand
Reapers
break
have trouble with creative
Use them
thought.
as a single
Again,
galaxy-wide
that seems to
network
contradict
to
the end
transmit
of
data
Mass
and
Effect.
communications rapidly
Well,
from
pretty
world
much
to
everything
world.
said in Mass Effect 3, where it acts like we don't
Virtually
stand a
all
chance,
beacons
even
were
though it's going to
destroyed
take
during the
hundreds of
invasion.
years for them to
But
kill
once
us,
the Reapers were
because
gone, the survivors here on Ilos decided to
if
risk
they
sending
have to
out a
use
message.
completely robot
We knew it was unlikely that there
servants
were other
because they have
survivors.
trouble
But if there
predicting
were,
what
we wanted them to know about
organics
Ilos.
will do, even
We
while
wanted to
under
give them
mind
hope.
control, then that
So a
says that they
message
have
was
very
sent
limited
across the
creative
network.
thought. And
could have exposed yourself to
that
the Reapers.
would indicate
In truth,
to
we
and
didn't
that would
expect
indicate
any
to
of the
me
beacons
that
would still function,
they
but we
wouldn't
had to
function
try.
well in a war
If there were
that
survivors,
where they
we
are
had
having
to
to
reach them
improvise, which they're having to do after this. After you go through this game, remember, this is the first time that the cycle has been disrupted. That means that something with limited ability for creative thought, an enemy with limited ability for creative thought, has just had their whole strategy blown up in their face.
So perhaps we did not fail after all.
They have to try and predict the moves of people that they try not to deal with because they can't predict them.
After each extinction, a sentinel to pave the way for their inevitable return.
In every military history I've ever read, the person who has trouble predicting the moves of his opponents is the person who loses. The person who doesn't understand his opponents and just, can't come up with a reliable plan.
Usher in the next Reaper invasion.
Ends up in trouble. So again, what would make anybody think that somebody at some point wouldn't come up with a strategy that would defeat them without,
why all this secrecy?
Why
not just attack the Citadel?
Sovereign is not invincible.
Anything like that.
Revealing its true nature would have united the forces of every organic species against it. Even a Reaper couldn't survive such odds.
So...
But the Reapers are patient. They will not rush into the unknown. Sovereign could have been planning this for centuries.
So in other words, he'd end up like... So anyway, the Reapers after the end of this game should have been acting like General McClellan in the Civil War, and in case you're wondering what happened with McClellan, he was way too cautious, had so much trouble predicting what Robert E. Lee would do, that even though he outnumbered Lee
grab that data file
massively, and he had better equipment, he still ended up losing every engagement he fought against Lee because he got unnerved and he had no idea what was going on.
We have to stop Saren.
Nothing
else matters.
What to do?
You are right.
So
I am sorry. My personal feelings clouded my judgment.
I don't know. I just...
The one you call Saren has not reached the conduit.
But I just think that we do a poor job of teaching history at schools, and if we did a better job, maybe...
Conduit. It's incredible.
Yeah, it would be if I could see it.
To get through that relay, and these Geth aren't gonna make it easy on us.
Oh, yeah. It actually is pretty easy. All you have to do is drive in a straight line. Even someone whose hand shakes a little while using the mouse, like me, ends up... So, what about that fleet that you said you had positioned at the mass relays? Oh, they're not doing a darn thing. They didn't even get off a single shot. Wonderful! The galaxy of the government is run, and this isn't even the council's fault here. Maybe if some of the people on the maybe if some of the people on those ships were smart enough to hit the fire button at the massive fleet coming through, and they all have to come through the same bottleneck, so that makes them vulnerable. So, yeah. So, yeah. You'd think this would mean that this would be hard. At least, I thought it would be at first, but it turns out no. Since the guys shooting at you are just the ones that they only damage your shields, and they're so inaccurate, you can just drive in a straight line. The only thing is that there's this counter here, but there is no, equivalent of a run button or make. The Mako has one speed that it drives at, and that's it. And it's like, really? If you're gonna have a timer on your thing, wouldn't I mean, shouldn't there be a way to, speed up?
Failures detected across all monitored systems.
Oh, must be Windows 8. That would be my guess. How did the Protheans survive coming through that? Wouldn't their bones have been smashed to jelly? I mean, look at that thing. Look at how that ejected you. That was not a transporter from Star Trek. That was just flinging you at like 2 billion miles per hour into a brick wall. And if you weren't in the Mako, yeah, you would have gone directly into the wall. Momentum would have carried. Oh, great. Husks. I'm so glad I'm fighting more husks. Where I can just stand perfectly still and hit a single button and they just die.
Experiencing severe system malfunctions across the entire level. All non-emergency personnel must...
Yeah, I told you not to go to those sketchy porn sites, but did you listen? No.
We have lost all primary...
That's what you get.
Environmental controls are not responding.
Then I shouldn't be able to, breathe, and there really shouldn't be out of control fires if there isn't any oxygen on this station. I have to wonder sometimes that science fiction writers realize, because a lot of times they say that the life support systems go down, but they still have people, speaking and fires burning in the middle of the battle, and I'm like, you do realize that both speaking and fire require oxygen, right?
What happened to the council?
In accordance with standard emergency procedures, the council has been evacuated to the
They got the heck out of here.
Where's Saren?
Former Spectre agent Saren Arturius is near the vicinity.
How did she know you were talking about Saren Arturius?
A warrant has been issued for his arrest.
The fact that he has a last name implies that, there'd be more than one Turian with that first name. So that's the only reason. That's the only reason last names exist. So wouldn't a computer be like, how many? Which Saren? Yeah, wouldn't they be giving you information on a bunch of different Sarens? Like Google or something. Okay, wait a second. If the Keepers are key to his well, what? I guess. Oh yeah, that's right. They jammed the Keeper seal, but hey.
The Citadel's closing. They're sealing the station.
Yep.
Don't let the enemy ships inside the arms.
You think Saren would have waited to close it until after Sovereign got in, since he needs Sovereign in there. I mean, what would have happened if Sovereign had taken just, I don't know. I mean, space flight isn't 100% precise. What would have happened if Sovereign... Look, what would have happened if Sovereign had taken just, like, 3 or 4 seconds longer to get there? Smash right into it. Smash right into the closed Citadel. Darn it! We need to better coordinate. We need to better coordinate these sort of things. Let me just slowly dock here. Thank goodness they didn't get rid of the Citadel's USB ports. Well.
Saren's locked the elevator. Suit up. We're going outside.
Yeah, this part is kind of cool, but it's just a lot of shooting of Geth, so I skipped it because, well, it's kind of cool that you're walking around the outside of the station. But it does make me wonder, though, if these spacesuits are made to function in outer space, which is only which is only a few thousandths of a degree above, you know, absolute zero, then how come on some of the cold planets you get a warning that you're going to, when you're in these same suits, you get a warning that you're going to die if you stay outside too long? Even the coldest planet possible is still a lot warmer than space. So if these suits don't have you instantly dying in space, then instantly freezing death in space, then they should be able to keep you alive indefinitely on any sort of... Yeah, there's the brilliant AI I was talking about in the last part when it came to that hostage situation. They really improved the AI in Mass Effect 2, where I actually felt like I could rely on my squad mates, where here, they just feel like they're kind of there. They, their shields get hit and they just sort of spray bullets in every direction, and... Oh, darn it! They changed the password! Oh, my whole ugh. Who would have thought? Where on earth does that thing keep coming from? Is he just keeping it in his butt? There's nowhere that thing could have possibly been.
I was afraid you wouldn't make it in time, Shepard.
In time for what?
The complimentary buffet. I'm sorry, but it closes at 9.
In a few minutes, Sovereign will have full control of all the Citadel systems. The relay will open. The Reapers will return.
I've still got a few tricks up my sleeve.
You survived our encounter.
Like this, like this handkerchief, or is this your card? Don't make me pull a rabbit out of my hat, because I'll totally do it.
I suppose I should thank you,
and
Shepard.
that will just blow your mind.
About what you said, about Sovereign manipulating me, about indoctrination. The doubts began to eat away at me. Sovereign sensed my hesitation. I was implanted to strengthen.
So suddenly you thought that the idea of killing all life to save all life was stupid. Too bad Casey Hudson, who locked the writers out of a room on Mass Effect 3, didn't realize that. In other words, the villain here actually has more common sense than the guy who insisted on taking over the writing at the end of that. Why does that have to overshadow everything? And why do I keep going on about it when I say that I'm not going to? Oh yeah, because I'm the world's most boring idiot.
Sovereign hasn't.
But I
can stop it from taking control of the station. Step aside and the invasion will never
Or
happen.
you could have stopped it from taking over the station by, you know, closing the Citadel a few seconds earlier. Just saying.
Some part of you must still realize this is wrong. You can fight this.
Yeah, he just said some part of him did. I think it does, because he just... Oh no! Too much cheese! I am lactose intolerant!
I'm sorry. It is too late for me.
It's not over yet. You can still redeem yourself.
Goodbye, Shepard. Thank you.
So the Citadel Council holds their meetings above something that isn't even safety glass. So if one of the council members were to trip, they would fall through that glass and kill themselves. Instead of just, you know, falling and maybe breaking an arm on the glass.
Maybe the fleet can take Sovereign down.
See if you can open a communications channel.
Yeah, find out what's actually going on before you decide what to do. Oh, and this is something that I know is very controversial, but my stance is that regardless of how much you don't agree with the government, you get into very dangerous territory if the military starts deciding to overthrow its own government. That's very dangerous territory to get into. So, and what's more, I can't imagine if Shepard, in reality, now in the games, people go along with you no matter what, but I can't imagine in reality, and that's what I try to match this up with. Anyone following the guy who would just let the government of the galaxy die, so that his own race could take over and start just bullying everybody. So
ships move in. Save the Destiny Ascension.
So yeah. Plus, you know, as I said, I'm a big fan of things like Robin Hood and stuff. You know where heroes flying in at coming in at the last minute to save the cavalry, or John Wayne westerns, where you're coming in at the last second to save the helpless people. It's just. So I just love those big heroic moments. That's one of the things that I like about this, despite the fact that it's not as good as some other games. When it comes to the number of choices or the Ashley romance thing, is that this game does a better job than any game I've ever played of making me feel like a hero in a big or larger than life heroic traditional heroic tale, sort of like, Earl Flint swinging in The Adventures of Robin Hood, welcome to Sherwood, sort of thing. So, there aren't any games that have a tone quite like this. In fact, well, I know why they do it, and I actually like quite a few games that are darker, like, The Elder Scrolls and The Witcher and such. And I like the fact that in The Witcher, none of your decisions are perfect. Sometimes I just want to play a game. Sometimes I just want to play a game where, in the end, I feel like I'm the, hero who prevails against all odds and just takes down the bad guys. And yeah. Here, as long as you, and here is another reason to take Liara or somebody who has the biotic lift ability, because this boss, he jumps around a lot, and that can make him hard to get a beat on sometimes. But if you have anybody with the biotic lift ability, they'll pretty much lift him up. They'll pretty much they can lift him into the air, and then that will, make him a lot easier to defeat because he's just standing there in midair, like an idiot. And why does it say Saren when he clearly says I'm sovereign and Saren committed suicide? It says nothing to do with Saren. Why on earth? Ah, darn it. Still those ships are in better shape than some used cars I've seen.
Negative. This is our only chance. Take that monster down no matter what the cost.
Yeah. It's too strong. Let's pull back and let more of his kind in so that it'll be even harder. See what I mean, though? See what I mean? Normally he'd be jumping around and I'd be having to, and it'd take me like 3 times as long to knock his health bar down, but because Liara can just levitate him, I can get him done a lot faster and just... What? Oh! Ouch! And why on earth do the dead... I mean, I know why, because game have limited processing speed, but I still... you know, so they can't have the bodies just sitting there, but I want to know, in the universe of the games, what do the characters think that every time somebody dies, their body just instantly vanishes? I mean, what's going on? I mean, in the universe of the game, what's going on there? And here you see my big problem. Look at this. All they've done is take down Sovereign shields. That's all. And look how easy he is to take down. So in other words, the only thing that made him so hard to take down were his shields. So why weren't we just why didn't we just spend the next few years working on, you know, I mean, obviously something mechanical happened. When you killed the reanimated corpse of Saren that Sovereign took over, obviously there was some sort of mechanical reaction that caused its shields to go down. There must be some readings from that, or, you know, some debris or something that would tell you what happened. Why aren't you pouring all your resources into figuring out just what happened to take down those shields so that it only took like half a dozen shots to kill him? And then, you know, figuring out a way to duplicate that so that, you know, when the rest of the Reapers show up, you just hit them with whatever, you know, whatever signal it was that took down the shields. And I've tried playing this multiple times to try and get. I have to wonder if they were planning on an ending where Shepard died. You know, just like they finally did in Mass Effect 2. Spoiler alert: it is possible to get Shepard dead, but here they act like Shepard could be dead, and it looks like his coming out is just one option. But I've played through this with a complete with ignoring all upgrades to Shepard and not upgrading a single thing combat related on him, and he still comes out alive. So I don't know why there was that moment there. Because he's fine. And again, this is something that I like, just the idea that sometimes I like playing a game where your hero comes out and goes, ha! Ha! After this, I'll have no need to come back. After this, I'll have no need to come back to Nottingham, you know. And, you know, actually gives Guy Gisborne back his sword Captain, because, hey, I'm not going to kill an armored man, and
we have gathered
wow,
here to recognize
well, I know I'm good enough to defeat you.
Many humans lost their lives in the battle to save the Citadel. Brave and courageous soldiers who willingly gave their lives so that we, the Council, might live.
Although we'll completely forget about this in the sequels and keep repeatedly stabbing you in the back because we're idiots.
The Council also owes you a great personal debt, Commander, one we can never repay. You saved not just our lives.
Oh, sure, you can repay it. Beach house somewhere. I want the largest TV you can find. Maybe Frank's 2,000-inch TV. Get it. See if he'll sell that to you. And then you can give that to me. That'll start. That'll be a start.
Has shown it is ready to stand as a defender and protector of the galaxy. You have proved you are worthy to join our ranks and serve beside us.
So that's the only way to become a
humanity and the Alliance. We thank you for this prestigious honor.
And apparently, I don't have to talk to anybody higher up in the government to get the okay on this.
Your recommendation will carry a great deal of weight, Commander. Do you support any particular candidate?
How about the guy who didn't stab me in the back?
Someone like Captain Anderson.
Why on earth would I recommend Udina?
You must be joking.
Why would I? You stabbed me in the back and nearly got everyone in the galaxy killed. Why I choose you? Has anybody ever chosen Udina when playing this game? I don't think anybody ever has.
I think it's an inspired choice. The Council would welcome him with open arms, should he accept.
I'm honored, Counselor. As humanity's representative,
And as the guy who has done more voice work than anyone else here, than everyone else here combined, I'll add a great deal of gravitas, but with my cool voice and the number of Ken Burns documentaries I've been a part
Hundreds of ships, maybe thousands, and I'm gonna find some way to stop them.
Mainly by mainly by just wandering around and doing stuff completely unrelated to the Reapers for 2 games. But
we
hey,
have the strength to overcome any challenge. When the Reapers come, we must stand side by side. We must fight
yeah. Too bad that optimism gets thrown out the door in the sequels. Again, that's why I don't hate them, and as I said, I don't hate Mass Effect. I love it, but despite its flaws, this is my favorite game in the series because it definitely has the best plot arc that makes the most sense, and the sequels kind of ignore the sort of, we haven't even seen the worst of it yet, but hey, at least we're standing together tone that this ended on. That's just thrown out the window so that they can repeat the same plot points from this game of Shepard being repeatedly stabbed in the back by every authority figure, which I think they already did to death in this game. So yeah, this is my favorite game of the series, and I hope you enjoyed this, and I won't bore you by talking over the full credits here, but I feel like I should show them. So I'll see you. Hope you enjoyed this to some degree. All right. See you in Mass Effect 2.
I can't make